Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, word to my brethren out in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. Shout out to Cuba. Now, speaking of Cuba, Sullivan Barrera, we got some news on him now, as it was reported recently by none other than Dan Raphael that he's going to be fighting April 15th. Sullivan Barrera versus a guy by the name of Paul Parker, set for April 15th on HBO Latino at the Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut. That's what main events were reported recently on March 28th. So, with that being said, Barrera was supposed to fight Beterbiev, and they went to a purse bid, and they weren't giving Barrera the money he wanted. From what I know, from who I know in the Barrera team, because Barrera is from South Florida, I was told that Barrera was being paid peanuts, and he felt that he doesn't want to get lowball. He's 35. I don't blame him. So that's what it is, man. So he pulled out of the Eliminator fight, and now he's fighting the much less known Paul Parker. Paul Parker comes into this fight with a record of 8-1 with 4 KOs. His lone loss came against Shabransky, who Barrera just beat. So they have a common opponent. Conventional wisdom says that Paul Parker should get smashed in this fight, but boxing doesn't work with triangle theories. So that's what makes this fight so good. It makes boxing great in general. As far as Barrera goes, his fight against Shabransky, we saw a different Barrera. And I said this too, and I remember before they even fought, and he started training with Derek Santos, I was probably the only person in the YTBC who made a video about Sullivan Barrera training with Derek Santos. Derek Santos was John David Jackson's assistant trainer when he worked with Kovalev and a couple other fighters. And he's a good trainer. He's He's trained Steve Jaffard, who's a light heavyweight prospect, Dia Davis, who was a super middleweight contender for a couple of years, who fought James DeGale. And he's a good trainer. And I felt he took the good things about Barrera and he simplified his skill set. Like, if you watch Barrera when he fought Ward, he's very tense. Every shot he throws is hard, and I think when you watch the Shabransky fight, he's a lot looser. He's sticking to his jab more. Punch variation's a lot better. So I want to see if he can stick with that, because a lot of times fighters' performances go like this in different fights. And in this fight, I'm looking for Barrera to fight the same way he did against Shabransky: educated, smart, loose, and just be himself. And for Paul Parker, he's someone I really don't know much about the guy. But I like guys that I don't know about, because sometimes they wind up winning, and it makes for good stories in boxing. So best of luck to Paul Parker, and that's what it is. But here are the quotes that I have in front of me from this ESPN article. Here's what Barrera said. He said, I quote, "It has been a tough start to the year for me, but I've been in the gym working, and I am ready for this opportunity. It is another step toward the ultimate goal of contending for a world title. My opponent is a very good boxer. We have studied him in the gym, and we are getting everything ready that we will bring come April 15th. Parker says the following: well, everyone thinks it's a risky fight, but where others see risk, I see opportunity, and I plan to capitalize on this opportunity. Now, I got to give Paul Parker, although I don't know much about him, a lot of credit. You don't even have 10 fights, and you're fighting someone like Barrera. That speaks a lot, maybe not to his talent, because I don't think he's the most talented fighter. I don't know him, but he doesn't appear to be the most talented fighter. But that speaks to his character, that he would fight a guy like Barrera, who's coming in with a lot of confidence, a lot to fight for, and we'll see what happens, man. But that's the news. Barrera has an opponent April 15th, HBO Latino, Mohegan Sun Casino. Be there, be square if you're in the area. Go support boxing, and hopefully Sullivan Barrera does a good job, and I'll be rooting for him to win. And I want to see if he can kind of look as good as he did in this fight, as he did in the Shabransky fight, because that was a good win for him, and I think Derek Santos has changed his skill set. I had a good conversation with Derek in January. We had a small conversation at the Arizona Lara fight, and he told me a little bit about some of the things he did with Barrera and how he changed his skill set. And I saw it on fight night, and I want to see if I see even more improvements in Barrera in this fight. So we'll see what happens, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dang It. So until next time, take care, guys.